Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. We're so glad that everybody's here. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. We're so glad that everybody's here. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. You sing it now. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. On Rosh Hashanah, it's the start of everything. A brand new year, make you fresh. There's freedom ring. We blow the shofar to wake the slumbering. Alive, awake, alert is how it goes. And so we sing Rosh Hashanah,
Head of the year,
Rosh Hashanah,
head of the year,
Rosh Hashanah.
head of the year.
And we're so glad that everybody's here. Rosh Hashanah,
Head of the year,
Rosh Hashanah,
head of the year,
Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. And we're so glad that everybody's here. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Tefillah means talk to God. It means to pray. Teshuvah means to return, to find your way. Tzedakah means charity, give it away. On Rosh Hashanah, this is what we do. Now everybody say Rosh Hashanah,
head of the year,
Rosh Hashanah,
head of the year,
Rosh Hashanah.
head of the year.
We're so glad that everybody's here. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. And we're so glad that everybody's here. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Let me hear you. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah. Teshuvah, Tefillah, Tzedakah.
What a welcome to a brand new year. We are so grateful to have our sanctuary filled with the next generation of PTBE. Some of you are here with your grandchildren. Some of you are here with your children. It just is a joy to be together. We'll begin with a story that takes place a long time ago. There was a challah baker, the best in town. And his braids were so fancy and beautiful that when Rosh Hashanah came, everyone lined up for his extra long, extra special braided challah. Now his daughter wanted to learn too, but no matter how hard she tried, her braids were always a mess. The dough stuck to her fingers, the strands got mixed up. Oy! She struggled. But the night before Rosh Hashanah, she stayed up very late, determined to get her braids right. Slowly and carefully, she braided a beautiful challah and carried it to the oven, and whoops, she tripped, and the dough went tumbling down the stairs. And when she picked it up, it had rolled itself into a big circle. She baked it anyway, not knowing what to do, but she was certain she had ruined Rosh Hashanah. But the next morning, her father pulled that challah out of the oven and laughed with joy. "My brilliant child, a round challah for Rosh Hashanah, just like the year that begins and ends and begins again." And from that moment on, every year on Rosh Hashanah, the challah was round. And so here we are now, celebrating with round challah, with apples and honey, with songs and shofar blasts, with family hugs and hope for the year ahead. We are so glad to be together here at PTBE's Tree of Life service. So let's make this a sweet new year by praying together and hoping for a new year. We begin our service by giving thanks to God for allowing us to reach this new year and all of the possibilities it brings. We're going to begin in our service supplement number 6.
מודה אני
לפניך מלך חי וקיים מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים שהחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך
מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים שהחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך As I start my day, these words I pray. Thank you for the soul in me. I sing to you, Modani. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la. Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la la la. Are you ready, Rabbi? Here we go.
really strong.
Be strong as a lion to wake in the morning to greet the rising sun. Be strong as a lion to wake in the dawning, a new day has begun. Let's try it again. Here we go. Be strong as a lion to wake in the morning to greet the rising sun. Be strong as a lion to wake in the dawning, a new day has begun. Modani לפניך מלך חי וקיים שהחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה
The Torah tells us the story of the evil sorcerer Balaam, who once looked out over the Israelites, but saw the beauty of our community together and said words of blessing. Number 7 are the words to Ma Tovu.
To everybody in the world, I bless you with peace. To everybody in the world, now and forevermore. To everybody in the world, I bless you with peace. Now and evermore. From the top to everybody. To everybody in the world, I bless you with peace. To everybody in the world, now and forevermore. To everybody in the world, I bless you with peace. Now and evermore. Matovu, Matovu. Oh, halachaya akol mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, Matovu. Oh, halachaya akol mishkenotecha Yisrael. To everybody, to everybody in the world, I bless you with peace. To everybody in the world, now and forevermore. To everybody in the world, I bless you with peace. Now and evermore. Matovu, Matovu, Matovu. Oh, halachaya akol mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, Matovu. Oh, halachaya akol mishkenotecha Yisrael. Rabbi, what would you like to bless everyone with this new year?
Ooh, I see so much love in this sanctuary. I want to bless everyone with love.
All right. I
Okay.
To everybody in the world, I bless you with love. To everybody in the world, now and forevermore. To everybody in the world, I bless you with love. Now and evermore. Matovu, matovu, matovu. Oh, hallelujah, oh, mishkenote. Ah, Israel. Matovu. Oh, hallelujah, oh, mishkenote. Ah, Israel. Jordan, what would you like to bless everyone with today?
Rest.
With rest. Oh, very nice. To everybody in the world, I bless you with rest. To everybody in the world, now and forevermore. To everybody in the world, I bless you with rest. Now and evermore. Matovu, matovu,
Matovu.
oh, hallelujah, oh, mishkenote. Ah, Israel. Matovu, matovu, oh, hallelujah, oh, mishkenote. Ah, Israel. One more time. Matovu, matovu, oh, hallelujah, oh, mishkenote. Ah, Israel. Matovu, matovu, oh, hallelujah, oh, mishkenote. Ah, Israel.
Well, those were great ways to warm up and start our prayer service with a lot of spirit, a lot of joy. But on the high holy days, we take this work of teshuvah very seriously. And we imagine that God's presence actually stands before us and we get to stand before God. Because even royalty, kings and queens, need help from their people. We partner with God to make the world a better place. I invite you to open your Machzor, your High Holy Day prayer book, turn to page 138, and rise as we sing Hamelech. We remain standing and we continue on page 141 for Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkada veyitkadash shemei rabbah. T'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala ubizman kariv ve'imeru amen yishmei rabba mivorach le'olam ulhal me'amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach yitpahar yitromah ve'yitnaseh ve'yizhadah ve'yitzaleh shmei tekusha brihu le'ilah min kol abirchata ve'shirata tushbechata ve'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen imeru amen. We continue on page 142, allowing the words of Baruch Hu to unite us into one community here ready to pray. When we want to affirm our community united, sometimes it's just about saying that word one together, echad. That is the affirmation of the Shema, page 150. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated as we continue together on page 152. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשופתך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם emet. So our next prayer, Micha Mocha, is the prayer that the Israelites sang joyfully when they crossed through the parted waters of the sea. And there are some very important people in this community that love to sing, and they have taken their place on this bima as our PTBE song leaders. You might know them from Sunday morning Rishonim, Ali Gordon and Lorelei Shub. They're going to come up and help us lead this Micha Mocha prayer with a lot of joyful singing. How do you want to? I don't know it.
Here we go. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Here we go. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tekilo o seifele Nora tekilo o seifele mi chamocha mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai b'kodesh mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tekilo o seifele Nora tekilo o seifele mi chamocha chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha ned. Just your voices. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Yasher koach.
Yasher koach. Rebbe Nachman of Bretzlav taught, make every effort to pray from the heart. Even if you do not succeed, the effort is precious in the eyes of the Eternal One. We invite you to rise as you're able as we move into the Amidah, our central standing prayer. We begin with an intention on page 166. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 168.
Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Iboteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Chadora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Yaakov, V'Zocher חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחגים Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Amen.
We can see God as a loving parent who cares about how we behave in the world. In the Unatana Tokef prayer, we imagine that all of our actions are written down in a big book of life. What we do and how we act in this world matters. We are reminded to try to do our best and to work harder when we fall short. We chant Unatana Tokef on page 174.
Unatana Tokef Kedushat Hayom Ki hu nora v'ayom uvot nasei malkutecha v'kom chesed kisecha v'teshev alav be'emet.
We turn together to our supplement number 13 to read together. Today you open the book of life, so that we can read what we have written on its pages. Today, you ask us to open our hearts and reflect on what we have said and done this past year. On Rosh Hashanah, it is written, and on Yom Kippur, it is sealed. But throughout the year, the book of life is open, and the choices we make leave a mark on our world. And so we ask ourselves and each other, who will choose to live a good life? Whose hands will cause hurt, and whose hands will help heal? Who will speak up, and who will be silent? Who will be wise enough to learn from others? Who will be strong enough to make good choices? Who will be greedy, and who will be grateful? Who will break people down, and who will build people up? Who will choose to be a blessing?
Berosh Hashanah ikatehivu, uviom Som Kippur yechatehimu. Berosh Hashanah ikatehivu, uviom Som Kippur yechatehimu.
You have taught us that there are 3 important ways that we can get through the difficult times and make things better.
Utshuva,
Teshuvah is turning back to God, turning back to what is right. We are not perfect. When we are not at our best, God wants us to apologize to those we have hurt and to try harder.
Utfila,
Tefillah is prayer. When we feel sad or scared, we can share those feelings in prayer, talking to God and to our innermost selves. We can ask for wisdom, and we will feel stronger.
Utsedaka,
Tzedakah is doing what is fair, what is just. Sometimes we feel that the world is out of control, that the problems are much too big. But we can do our part to help, to be partners with God and make the world a better place.
Utshuva, utfila, utsedaka, mavirin, et roa hagzehira.
Teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah are what we are called to do in this new year, so that we can each write our unique page in the book of life and work every day to be our kindest and best selves.
Berosh Hashanah ikatehivu, uviom Som Kippur yechatehimu. Berosh Hashanah ikatehivu, uviom Som Kippur yechatehimu.
Now that we have prayed out loud together, we take time for our own personal prayers and reflections, which we say silently to ourselves. These could be the words in our prayer book or the words on your own mind and heart. We'll take some time for silent prayer, and we invite you to be seated once you're ready.
got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I'm strong like a mountain. I am strong like a mountain. I am strong like a mountain. I am strong like a mountain in my soul. I am strong like a mountain. I am strong like a mountain. I am strong like a mountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. And I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I'm calm like the land. I am calm like the land. I am calm like the land. I am calm like the land in my soul. I am calm like the land. I am calm like the land. I am calm like the land in my soul.
On this Rosh Hashanah morning, it's really a pleasure to get to share the Bima with our temple president, Scott Hartley. Especially sometimes as families in our education programs, you might only see a slice of what happens here at PTBE, but there is so much to celebrate about this amazing community, and we're really grateful to hear your words.
Thank you, Rabbi. On our board, Ross Kirscher and I often comment that this is our favorite service of the year. So it's nice to really be here in community with all of you. Thank you for being here this morning. It's really a special day. You know, recently we were heading home from a trip. Our flight had been delayed a few times, but we were almost back. As we prepared to land, the flight crew announced that some of our fellow travelers were trying to make tight connections, and so, for those of us with SFO as our final destination or no tight connection to make, could we please let these anxious folks deplane first? I've heard this before and even been one of those anxious people hoping to make a connection. And as that anxious person, I was given no assistance from my fellow travelers in getting off the plane quickly. So, of course, my first thought when asked to let others out first, to be selfless, to not put myself first, was, nah. I'm tired and cranky, get me off this plane. The crew then did an interesting thing. They named the folks with tight connections and had them raise their hands. The mom sitting in the row ahead of me nervously looked back through the seats at her 10-year-old sitting next to me, and they both raised their hands. My thinking shifted immediately, and I waited while 10 to 15 people got off ahead of the rest of us. Sharon and I talked about it later. Not for the first time, she understood better and quicker than me. By naming people and then having us put faces to them, we effectively knew them, and so were willing to sacrifice for their benefit. These stressed co-travelers were no longer strangers. At least temporarily, we were all part of the same tribe. And in that moment, I found myself willing to step up by sitting back down. It is with a sense of pride in our accomplishments that over the last few years that I'm able to stand here and tell you that Peninsula Temple Bethel is 75 years old and going very strong. We have dynamic and inspiring clergy and professional staff. We have unprecedented engagement in our wide variety of programs. The breadth of our offerings allows us to deeply impact individuals and families, and no one is ever turned away from Bethel for financial reasons, this will always be the case here. The light of PTB's candle is burning bright and strong, and like any candle's flame, it is delicate. This year's winds have threatened our candle's light and strength. The strong winds of anti-Semitism threaten us again, and we are also threatened by strong, sincere disagreements within our Jewish communities. With our clergy's guidance and the wisdom that we provide each other, we are able to agree and disagree about items large and small, while also remembering the commonalities we share to remain in respectful and loving community. Even in these windy conditions, especially in these windy conditions, PTB needs to be solid. On our own individual journeys, we all live as candles, alternating between periods of strength and periods where we are challenged by our weakness. We are all a strong wind away from needing each other's shelter. During services, I watch our candles and consider the various lights in my life. Candles that strongly burn right next to me, their energy feeding our energy and making us collectively stronger. Candles that flicker because of illness or injury, or because of a family tie that is broken, or as anger drives us apart. A loved one's candle that burned out long before our memories of them, their light remains inside of us. Sometimes we can see each other's candles wavering, and sometimes we feel our own flickering, and sometimes we aren't aware, and being here for each other, even for people to whom we are only lightly connected, gives us the strength in that moment. Rabbi Bruce Springsteen wrote a song about mourning some years ago called Mary's Place. Bruce acknowledged that after a death, his heart is in a black hole and he finds himself standing in the rain, but he hears voices calling from the horizon. He lights a candle and surrounds himself with a crowd of familiar faces and loses himself in music. When I have experienced loss, the death of parents, the death of friends, the illness of a child, the helpless feeling of seeing dear people in my life going through pain that I can't make go away, the voice I hear on my horizon is most often here at Bethel. I find strength here, like Bruce, surrounded by familiar faces, hearing wisdom and perspective from our rabbis, and yes, losing myself in Cantor Ilana's music. We have incredible people here making sure our candle is strong. Rabbi Rebecca's deep relationships with our interfaith friendship circle help our community have allies. She's an organizational driver of Roth Tzedek and an ongoing champion of environmental justice. She takes our teens to Washington, D.C., and engages through her work with our caring committee, making Kaddish calls and connecting with new members. Rabbi Janine has jumped into her role as our rabbi educator, bringing her years of experience to strengthen our education programs for our children and their families. Beyond learning about Judaism, our children are being taught to be Jewish. When I see families getting together to sing and celebrate in a packed Rishonim service, when I look out at this room this morning, my spirits lift and my confidence in our community's future grows. Cantor Ilana's music moves us and inspires us throughout the year. Her spiritual exploration enrich our lives. She is providing pastoral care with ever-deepening compassion, in part because of the way she has developed special relationships with so many of us through her music. My admiration for Kate Lazar's professional and compassionate approach to her very challenging job continues to grow. Kate is able to manage the logistics of all that happens here, making all of us feel welcome and listened to, tracking our finances and being a strategic thought partner with our lay leaders. Rabbi Lisa Kingston is our tireless, humble, smart, wise senior rabbi. Though she will be the first to credit all those around her, Rabbi Lisa's vision guides us. Her perspective allows us to have our bima be the ground for both challenging and inclusive sermons and conversations as we explore our Torah and our Jewish lives. Her sense of humor and compassion is a gift for this community. On a weekly basis, I watch Rabbi Lisa pivot from the challenges of running an office to guiding families through bar mitzvahs, weddings, and funerals, to providing pastoral care for those of us in sometimes desperate need. Yes, PTB's candle is burning strong and bright. No one size fits all our modern Jewish lives, so we have so many doors to walk through. And these various doors are not a luxury. These doors are a necessity so that when needed, we can be here for each other. Sometimes our door is a Shabbat service. Sometimes it's dropping our kids at Wednesday night program. And sometimes we need pastoral care, and sometimes what we need to feel connected and safe and meaningfully alive is to gather here on a Sunday to make sandwiches for people less fortunate than ourselves. You've all received mailings and postcards asking for your participation in the High campaign. Many of you have already given, and we are so very appreciative of your gifts. We are raising money and raising connectivity. Our development chairs, Michael Adler and Josh Smith, and our development director, Monica Boardman, join me in recognizing that all of us give in meaningful ways. This includes spending time and engaging with each other. And yes, the money matters too. As is true at every synagogue, dues alone do not allow us to meet the needs of our socioeconomically diverse community. Please choose to participate at the level that is comfortable for you and your family. Our High campaign, because you step up, assures that our doors are here and available for all of us. Today, you may not need help to make a connecting flight like the kid sitting next to me on that plane. You may not be standing in the rain needing to be surrounded by some familiar faces. Your candle may not be flickering, but someday you or someone in our tribe will need us to be here. 75 years ago, our founders filed our Articles of Incorporation to formally begin PTBE's journey. I believe if our founding families and clergy could see all we've become, they'd say that in their wildest dreams, this is what they were hoping for. Bethel, thanks to all of us, is here as a vibrant light shining in our community. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be your temple president. The poets who said that the love you take is equal to the love you make did not have it exactly right in my experience. I have gained so much more than I have given by being in community with you all. I encourage you to try some of this too. Engage here with each other. Walk through some of our doors. The love you will take is even greater than the love you'll make. Lashana Tova.
Thank you so much, Scott. What beautiful words. Cannot barely touch upon the incredible community that you have built here together. We continue. Well, we've come to the part of our service where we read the prayer called Avinu Malkeinu. The first word, Avinu, tells us that God can feel to us like a parent whose love will be with us always. The second word, Malkeinu, tells us that God can also be like a king or queen who has rules that we have to follow. As we hear this prayer, we hope that God will be both. May God bring goodness and love into our lives, and may God also guide us like a wise leader would, showing us the way so that we too can be good and loving, helpful, fair, and kind. Please rise for Avinu Malkeinu on page 223.
Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'Haneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'Haneinu, ki ein banu ma'aseh.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love. As we continue with our Torah service on page 227, I'd like to call up to the ark for the honor of holding our sacred Torah scrolls Katie Bradford Arvey and Aaron Arvey, Robert and Hillary Jericho, Ryan and Lauren Lewis, and Aaron and Dee Tucker.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai, vein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechodor v'chador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ir. Adonai oz le'amohu yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim, heitiv avirtzoncha, et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Ki v'chal levad batachnu, Melech Elam v'nisa Adon olamim. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, Rav Chesed ve'emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei avon v'fesha, V'chata'a v'nakeh. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'nora shemo. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'nora shemo. Lecha Adonai chagedula v'agevura v'tiferet v'anetzach v'hachor. Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, B'yamit na'aseh lechol Rosh.
Shnat Torah Yamo Yisrael, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon. Shnat Torah Yamo Yisrael, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon. Ay 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 ay, ay ay ay, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon. Ay 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 ay, ay ay ay. Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon. Shnat Torah Yamo Yisrael, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon. Shnat Torah. Yisrael, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon, Shinat Torah, Amo Yisrael, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon, ay 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 ay, ay ay ay, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch Hamachon, ay 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 ay, ay 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 ay, Baruch Hamachon, Baruch, ay 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 ay, ay ay ay, Baruch Hamachon.
Please be seated. We're going to be hearing the very first words of the Torah, the words that describe the creation of the world. It reminds me of how many times when I am celebrating with a student as they are becoming bar mitzvah, the parents begin their blessing by saying something like, I remember the day 13 years ago when you came into the world. It was a miracle, and our lives have been blessed ever since. So today is the 5,786th birthday of the world. And we are gathered today to say to the world, although I wasn't there myself, when you were born 5,786 years ago, it was a miracle. And our lives have been blessed ever since. We're so honored to have Ella Mendelson and Melody Goldstein as our Torah readers. You can follow along with the Torah portion reading on page 330. And for our Aliyah, I'd like to call up anyone who has ever become a bar mitzvah here at PTBE. Ya'amdu Aliyah LeTorah.
Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim veit haaretz v'haaretz hitatohu vavohu v'choshech al panei tehom v'ruach Elohim merahefet al panei hamayim vayomer Elohim yehior v'yehior vayar Elohim et haor ki tov vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hachoshech vayikra Elohim laor yom v'lachoshech kara layla vayehi erev vayehi voker yom echad.
ואומר אלוהים, יהי רקיע בתוך המים, ויהי מבדיל בין מים למים. ויעש אלוהים את הרקיע ויבדל בין המים אשר מתחת לרקיע ובין המים אשר מעל הרקיע. ויהי כן. ויקרא אלוהים לרקיע שמיים, ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום שני. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam natan betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
And in honor of our portion, it fits perfectly. Our song leaders are going to lead us in 7 days, reminding us of the miracle of creation.
First day, day and night. And it was good. All right, and each time we go back to the first day. First day, day and night. Second day, heaven and earth, heaven and earth. And each day of creation, God said, and it was good. You know what to do. First day, day and night. Second day, heaven and earth. Third day, plants and trees, plants and trees. And it was good. First day, day and night. Second day, heaven and earth. Third day, plants and trees. Fourth day, sun and moon and stars. And it was good. First day, day and night. Second day, hands up, heaven and earth. Third day, plants and trees. Fourth day, get ready for it, sun and moon and stars. Fifth day, fins and wings. And it was good. First day, day and night. Second day, heaven and earth. Third day, plants and trees. Fourth day, sun and moon and stars. Fifth day, fins and wings. Fins and wings. Sixth day, peace and humankind. And it was good. First day, day and night. Second day, heaven and earth. Third day, plants and trees. Fourth day, sun
Thank you, Allie and Lorelei. I'd like to welcome Gil and Danielle Simon to the Bema as we rise so that they can lift and dress our Torah.
Bezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Eitz Chaim ki lamachazikim ba tomchecha tree of life, it's Chaim Ki, it's the tree of life. So read it, learn it, follow it, and be happy, and be happy. It's Chaim Ki, it's Chaim Ki. Lamachazika, Tomchecha, Meusha, Meusha. It's Chaim Ki, it's Chaim Ki, Lamachazika, Tomchecha, Meusha.
You can be seated. Pitsy was hungry. Pitsy the dog was walking around the farmer's market trying desperately to get a piece of something to eat. He was giving little puppy dog eyes to all the people in the market, riff, 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 trying to get someone to give him a little nibble of something. And finally, someone gave him a piece of cheese. Wasn't very big, but he ran off with his piece of cheese to the side of the market, ran off and sat on the curb, started nibbling a little bit on his piece of cheese. And then, as he was watching in the market, he saw his arch nemesis, the person he hated most in the world, Itzy the cat. Itzy the cat was doing the exact same thing Pitsy had been doing a few minutes ago. Itzy was walking around the market with her tail up so beautiful, rubbing up against people, meow, meow, trying also to get someone to give her a piece of something to eat. And Pitsy watched as Itzy walked around the market, and then, just as Itzy walked by the cheese seller's table, something remarkable happened. A giant piece of cheese fell off the table onto Itzy, almost knocking her over, almost flattening her. And Itzy the cat looked at the piece of cheese and said, "I'm saved. I have enough food for months. This is amazing." But then Itzy the cat realized it was so big, so giant, that she couldn't even pick it up. So she pushed and she pulled and she got it under the cheesemaker's table. And then she sat and she started to nibble a little bit. Well, Pitsy the cat is on the side. Pitsy takes one look at his tiny piece of cheese and one look at Itzy's giant piece of cheese, and he puts his piece aside and says, okay, forget it. I'm going after that. So he runs over and he says, Itzy, give me that piece of cheese. That piece of cheese is mine. What are you talking about, Itzy says. It practically squashed me. We weren't anywhere near. And Pitsy says, yeah, but I saw it. I saw it on the table. I saw it fall off, and I saw it hit you on the head. So I saw it first. Pitsy's like, that's ridiculous. And the two of them start fighting. Meow, ruff, ruff, meow, ruff, ruff, ruff. Meanwhile, Ketsy the fox is walking by. Ketsy's also pretty hungry. Ketsy's scoping out the market, looking around. Ketsy sees Itzy and Pitsy, meow, ruff, ruff, meow, ruff, ruff, tries to check and says, I see an opportunity. So Ketsy walks over and says, Itzy, Pitsy, what's going on here? So they tell Ketsy the story, meow, ruff, ruff, okay. And Ketsy says, okay, Itzy, this piece of cheese is so gigantic, I bet you could barely get it under the table. Itzy says, yeah, that's true. So Ketsy says, look, let me help you out. Let's break it into 2 pieces. You can give a little bit to Pitsy. Pitsy will be happy, and then you'll have a smaller piece, and maybe you can possibly drag it home. Okay, fine. So, Ketsy proceeds to take off a little bit of the cheese for Pitsy. Gives Pitsy a smaller piece than Itzy. Pitsy is furious. Pitsy's like, I am a dog, and why is my piece smaller? Because dogs are bigger than cats. This is completely unfair. Ketsy says, okay, fine. I'll even it out a little bit. I'll help you out. So Ketsy starts to eat some of the cheese and nibbles on it, and nibbles a little more, 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 and nibbles a little more. And suddenly now, Itzy's piece is smaller than Pitsy's piece. And Itzy says, well, that's not fair. I had the bigger piece in the first place. And Ketsy says, oh, okay, sorry, I'll even it out a little more. So he takes Pitsy the dog's piece, and he starts to nibble on it, nom, 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 nom. And num, 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 num. And now Pitsy's like, this is not fair. Now my piece is smaller than Itzy's again. I'm gonna die of starvation. This is horrible. Okay, fine, Ketsy says, I'll just even it out a little more. And he starts nibbling now on Itzy the cat's piece. And and then they're arguing back and forth, and they're arguing back and forth, and they're arguing, num, 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 num. And they're arguing. Ketsy is still eating. Num, 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 num. Num, num. Ketsy is eating and 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 eating. And pretty soon, all that's left are 2 very tiny pieces of cheese. Ketsy says, well, thanks, everybody. I'm really glad I could help. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so full. Ketsy says, I'm just going to go walk home now. See you later. Glad I could help. Itzy, Pitsy, thanks a lot. And he kind of waddles with his big tummy back off to the forest, leaving Itzy and Pitsy looking at their tiny pieces. Pitsy's piece was even smaller than his original one, leaving Itzy and Pitsy with these tiny pieces of cheese, hungrier than he was at the very beginning. Well, how many times have we wanted more than we have? I'm not talking about when someone is sleeping in a car and desperately wants to find a roof for over their head, or when someone does not have enough to eat and is searching for a meal. Those are necessary and important needs and wants. I might be talking about when we want a very specific lychee labubu when we already have 33 stuffies. Or the new Nintendo Switch 2 when we already have one that works perfectly fine. Or when we want the newest version of a home espresso machine that makes 7 different types of coffee and grinds our beans so we get the perfect coffee strength every time. Not that anyone would want to replace her very overused plain Keurig Slim or anything. We all have things that we desperately want. Sometime we see other people playing with them or owning them, or we see them on TV or on a commercial, or they come up in our social media feed, and we want them. We don't need them, but somehow we think these things will make us happier or more popular or make our lives better in some way. We just want them so badly. And then it begins. We get jealous or angry or even sad. And then we don't behave in the best ways. Sometimes we grab our friends' toys and fight over them, or we won't let our friends play with our toys. And before we know it, we may realize our friends no longer want to play with us, even if we have the new Nintendo Switch. If we aren't kind friends, it doesn't matter how great our toys are. Or sometimes as parents, we decide we're going to work as hard as we can because we want to provide our families with as much of what everyone wants as possible. Maybe we set our sights on the most memorable vacations, or maybe even an amazing vacation home. But it takes so many more hours at the office and many evenings when we miss having dinner as a family. And by the time we finally take that incredible family vacation, we realize it's really the only quality time we've had together in a long while. By chasing after the dream, we've sacrificed our family in the process. A long time ago, a rabbi named Ben Zoma asked, "Who is rich?" And his answer had nothing to do with money. He said, "A rich person is satisfied with their life as it is, with what they have. That is what it means to be rich." I worry sometimes that we're so focused on what we want to have, because of course we always want more, that we forget to be happy with what we have right now. And because we're always chasing more, we've even forgotten how to be happy with who we are right now. This Rosh Hashanah, let's remember Itsy and Pitsy. Let's stop chasing the more, the bigger, the better. Instead, let's take a moment to look at our lives, at our families, at the goodness and the beauty and the love and the plenty that is around us every day. And let us say, we have so much already. In this new year, may Itsy and Pitsy and Ben Zoma remind us to be happy with what we already have, because then we will find that we are, in fact, already rich beyond our wildest dreams. And now I have to clean up all the cheese.
Rosh Hashanah is also the day when we sound the shofar, these strange notes that call on us to wake up and notice who we are and who we are becoming, these blasts that tell us to bring our energy and attention to the new year. And it is now time this morning to hear that shofar. So I'd like to invite up Max Ostreich as our shofar sounder. And we'll invite you to rise for the shofar on page 284.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Tekiah. Shvarim Trua. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shvarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Trua. Tekiah Gedola.
I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Tekiah. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Shavarim. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. All right, Tekiah Gedola, are you ready? We're warmed up, ready to go. We're gonna take a big deep breath. I want to hear how long you can hold it for. Max did an amazing job. Okay, here we go. Tekiah Gedola. I like to hear that. Sometimes slow and I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Happy, happy, happy New Year.
Well, even with that joy and hope of the shofar, we take time in our service to remember our loved ones, especially those who we have lost this year. So we remain standing together to recite the Mourner's Kaddish. We are on page 292. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yurtei ve'amlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Olmei Almaya Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitzaleh v'yithalal Shemei Kedusha Barichu Le'ela ule'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'ama v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May their memory be for a blessing. All right, you can sit for just a moment. I have some announcements for us of what is happening for the rest of our morning and over the holidays. So there is a craft activity and time to just connect and hang out together on the patio right after services. Teacher Allison Levy will be there. And if you'd like to go out to the patio, we ask you to walk through the fireside room and head out. There will be apple cookies out there on the patio. Yes. But if you're not staying, we'll just ask you to exit this way through the driveway doors, and there will be apple cookies out there as well. Before you leave, please place your song sheets back into your book and drop them off either on the carts or the tables this way, or as you exit through the foyer. Please make sure you take a brown bag to participate in this year's Sunday Sandwich Chevra, the Shush annual food drive. There is a shopping list on that bag. Please fill the bag with only the items on that shopping list, and you can bring those filled bags back to Temple anytime through October 10th. There's a table right outside the front gate. When you return for other services, please remember to wear your name tag and your lanyard. Those are your tickets, and they're really important part of our security. For those of you with really young ones, maybe under 5, that want to come back later today, there's a tot service at 4 p.m., and your clergy will be there. That will be here in the sanctuary. And we invite you to come for Tashlik. It's in a new location at Ryder Park in San Mateo. We'll meet at the Starfish picnic area and then walk down to the water. Please bring your own picnic beginning at 5:30 p.m. and services will start at 6:30. There will not be services at PTBE that night, and we will not read the yard site list, but you can share names for Kaddish that night. And as you heard from Scott, our temple president, how important our high giving campaign is, so please drop off those completed postcards in a blue box in our driveway. So for now, I'll wish you a Shana Tova Umetuka. Thank you to our clergy team and our band and Cantor Alana and Kate and Scott and Max and Nikolai doing sound. And thanks all for being here together. Wishing a sweet new year.
Oh, say shalom, bimroma. Oh, say shalom, bimroma. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase shalom aleinu.
Echad, shtayim, shalosh, arba.